Welcome, my friends, to Unity South Twin Cities on this New Year's Eve. It'll be an exciting day of possibilities from the service we will share in this hour to the New Year's Eve party this evening with all kinds of happenings. But let us begin with an opening prayer. I invite you to join me as we acknowledge this beginning of a new year. Let us pray. On this eve of a new year, we gather to celebrate the past year that we are grateful for, all joys and challenges which have developed new capacities of our souls, greater compassion, deeper wisdom, expanding love. And now, let us believe in the new year that is given us by the source and creator of all possibilities, a new year yet untouched and full of things that have never been. We set our intention to trust the spirit of wisdom as it ever unfolds before us. We hold the affirmation of our Unity Prayer Service. Although I cannot see far ahead, I trust the path forward. By the power of faith, I am propelled toward the achievement of my deepest desires and highest intentions. Now let us declare together our foundational statement of being. Together, there is but one presence and one power in my life, in this church, and in the universe, God, the omnipotent good. And so it is. I welcome all of you who have joined in person in this room. I can feel your smiles and your warmth. But we also acknowledge those who have joined us online. Wherever you are an important part of this service. I am pleased to welcome musicians today, our soloist Bill Mann, and Rich Miller is filling in as Judy Moen continues her recovery. So we're grateful that Rich jumped in this week to help us out. Our live stream team is Joe Rowan and Avery Winters today. So thank you for your help. Yay! So now I invite us to stand as we sing an old song with a new twist. I like that. I can kind of grasp something I know, but please watch the screen because each verse has new words that we aren't necessarily used to.
That bind me, I am free, I am unlimited, right now, right now. I am free, I am unlimited, there are no chains that bind me, I am free, I am unlimited, right now, right now. I am free, I am unlimited, I have faith and intention. I am free, I am unlimited, right now, right now. I am free, I am unlimited, I have faith and intention. I am free, I am unlimited, right now, right now. I am free, I am unlimited, I accept no limitations. I am free, I am unlimited, right now, right now. I am free, I am unlimited, I accept no limitations.
You may be seated. Well, exciting announcements. The New Year's Eve party tonight, you can see details in your bulletin. And we have an especially fine reason to celebrate this evening. Our building fund goal for our next step was set at $30,000, and you did it. All the money's come in. It will allow us to move forward with new carpet to replace the 26-year-old carpeting on this entire second floor, including the sanctuary. So I'm really excited what all that is going to look like. And I'll have something new to walk on up here as well. So we thank all the individuals. We only announced that on December 3rd. And by the day after Christmas, it was complete. So that's a wonderful accomplishment, one of many that we've experienced in this past year. You walked in through our brand new automated doors and our keyless entry system that we installed this year. Downstairs, when you go down for treats, things will be heated in the first new stove this church has had in 31 years. And it's bright and shiny and working downstairs. And so just one project after a number gets completed, which is a good lesson for us as we enter this new year, that when you set your intention, you do your preparation and focus your energies, things happen. So we are indeed grateful. I invite you to look around the room and catch someone's eye and acknowledge their presence with either out loud or silently a phrase such as, "I behold the Christ in you." And let us, through our God-given ability, expand this awareness beyond this room to those joining us online. And you can look at the camera in the back of the room and wave and say, "Friends, we behold the Christ in you." Together, we behold the Christ in you. And then go a little bit further, acknowledging the global human family, that the life that animates everyone in this world is the same life within you. And when you hold that thought, it creates a connection that this is not a world of strangers. Yes, it's a world of millions of people that you don't personally know, but you do know the truth that they are God's creation. And you can hold that truth, especially at times when we're challenged and we don't understand the actions of others. We can still inwardly reflect that they are a human being finding their way, as we all are. So now it is my pleasure to invite our licensed teacher and prayer chaplain leader, Don Rollefson, to the platform.
The daily word for today, Sunday, December 31st, 2023. Wow, it's gone by in a hurry, hasn't it? The daily word is let go and let God. With a grateful heart, I bid the year farewell. As the year draws to a close, I reflect upon the joyful times as well as the lower points of the past several months. In a prayerful moment of contemplation, I feel gratitude as I accept all of it. I may have laughed and cried celebrated and grieved, but I made it. As days turned into weeks and weeks into months, I have met the year's events with faith and have grown resilient. Now it's time for me to let it all go as I prepare to begin again. I take the lessons of the past 12 months, their joys and sorrows, and prepare myself for the new year. I let go and let God as I spiritually surrender my hopes and dreams and even my fears. I am divinely guided and infinitely blessed. I step boldly and bravely into a year that is mine to live to the fullest. And from Psalm chapter 4, verse 5, offer right sacrifices and put your trust in the Lord. Let us reflect on let go and let God for just a moment. Now, if you would please soften your gaze, or close your eyes if you please. Slow your thoughts. Relax your body. I feel a sense of gratitude and renewal as I recognize and honor the Christ within all beings. I acknowledge the value and power of praying together, feeling the bond formed by those prayers. I feel the love and harmony of omnipresent Spirit, the omniscience of divine mind, and the omnipotent power of God. Reflecting on these attributes of the divine, I am comforted by our oneness with all. How better to end the current year and begin a new year than being surrounded by the all-knowing, all-powerful, everywhere present God's Spirit. Accepting the truth of my own divinity, I feel inspired as I read today's Silent Unity Prayer affirmation. I celebrate the birth of Christ consciousness within my body, mind, and spirit. Once more, I celebrate the birth of Christ consciousness within my body, my mind, and my spirit. I celebrate my divine identity, the birth and every moment rebirth of life, love, and wisdom within me, one with Jesus and all who have demonstrated God consciousness in human form. I am divine. I pray that I might more fully realize my divine nature and potential. Acknowledging the prayer requests Unity South has received, we behold and affirm the truth within these individuals. We know that Spirit is working in their lives as they further awaken to the presence of God as their health, supply, and sense of purpose. Feel the power of our community prayer as we take a few moments in the silence. Let us now sing the Lord's Prayer and feel the truth that is expressed in this model of prayer taught by Jesus Christ.
Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
available at the back of the sanctuary after the service for anyone wishing one-on-one prayer.
Bill, we welcome you.
Because of how it makes me see, I have to look at everything as if it might contain the key, because any piece you stumble on along the way might lead you to the simple truth on a given day. And when we wander through the world with open eyes, life shows us free. And we all live on holy ground, and anytime we turn around, if we have the eyes to see, the evidence is quickly found. And when we learn to listen well, we hear the song that's playing in the heart of everything and everyone. When we choose to open up and sing along, the light comes on, brings us free. And all the love you guarantee, and all accepted gratefully, there lies a golden key that turns for you alone, opens up your eyes to see, resolving all the mystery of how you're gonna find your way back home. And each of us will find our way back home. We are part of God's divine, and we can choose at any time to end our struggle for survival, accept that we were born to shine, and open up our hearts to all that Spirit shows, and recognize that we are here in service to love's flow. Come to understand that in our greater role we are soul, and we are free. And when we finally come to see ourselves as soul, we will know that we are free. Loved a mystery because of how it makes me see.
Another exciting announcement. I'm just full of them. You will receive, as you leave today, the 2024 Unity Calendar, a popular treat that comes out every year, and we order them for you. 2024 is going to be the centennial year of Daily Word. Daily Word was first issued July 27th, of 2024. So they'll be celebrating its 100th year all next year. And the calendar contains many affirmations, cover designs, and different things from the 100 years of Daily Word. And I've found going into other communities, such as the Chautauqua Institution where I go most summers, that most people, if they've heard of unity at all, it's been because they've heard of Daily Word. Not only the fact that it's considered the oldest continuously published daily devotional of any religious organization in this country, but it was also the inspiration in my lifetime, beginning in the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, for the Word from Unity on television and radio. Was all inspired by the writers of Daily Word. So it is something to celebrate. This idea was born by the Unity poet, Frank B. Whitty, as they called him, at Unity Village. And he just got this idea that maybe we could have a key word, therefore thought, that Unity students would hold throughout each and every day. Sort of what Rudolf Steiner called a leading thought, something that would carry you forward in your day. So, of course, this being New Year's Eve, we have the opportunity as we stand on the threshold of a new year. What key word, what key thought, what guiding thought am I going to use to carry me forward into a new year? To enter the new year, any new idea, feeling, or circumstance must be let go of if we're going to grasp the new. And such letting go does not mean losing forever. I appreciate this quotation from the extraordinary human being, Helen Keller. What we once enjoyed and deeply loved, we can never lose. For all that we love deeply becomes a part of us. So when we practice one of our newer ceremonies, born probably in the 1960s in California by the University Sue Sicking, is the idea of this burning bowl, coming forward to a bowl of flame to create an image of what the letting go process is all about. That you can write down an experience, a thought, a feeling from this year that's no longer serving you well. It's no longer helpful. And you can write it down and place it in the fire and see the paper consumed by the flames to remind you on the inner process of your soul when you're willing to let something go. And when you do that, inwardly, I'm now ready to release this experience. Perhaps it was something that happened in your life, and like me, you've caught yourself throughout the year rehearsing it over and over and over. I'll pick on Carlotta. Oh, what you did to me. I can't believe next month. Oh, what Carlotta did to me next month. Oh, I can't believe how Carlotta treated me. That, of course, is all fiction. But that idea of rehearsing something over and over in your mind until you get to a point that you're willing to let it go. It no longer serves you. But to remember those inspired words of Helen Keller, what you have deeply loved, even those challenging experiences in life, have become a part of you. And just like you don't burn them up in the burning bowl, you keep their treasure, what they've taught you. If it was a person that challenged you, perhaps you learned to stand up and speak from your truth. Perhaps you found your voice, we say. Those fruits you carry into the new year, they're not destroyed. But the activity that you experienced is an event that's done and over with. That's what you let go. That's what you say, I'm willing to release this. Years ago, when I took a 5-day intensive workshop, and I mean intensive, with the psychologist and author Maria Nemeth, she had us practice something that we realized we needed to let go. Some old story in life. I won't go into the details of mine. But she said, notice, the same day, or certainly the next day, that's going to come up again. And you've got the choice. She said, this is natural. It will come back into your consciousness, and there you choose. And you can either pick up the story and, let's relive it again. Let's tell it over to myself, all the little details, and or you can simply stop and say, I released you. I'm finished with you. Well, she said, on the second day, it'll probably come up again, especially if you encounter that same circumstance or that same individual. It'll come back. Don't get pulled into it. Say, I forgave you. I released this experience. I am done with this. And if you practice that each time that experience comes to mind, it will be weaker each time it comes into your memory. It will gradually, like the flames, fade away. But that's a choice. It's not, as we say today, a situation of one and done. No, it's a spiritual practice that we have to keep working at. Eric Butterworth, the Unity minister and author, wrote in his book, Practical Metaphysics, there's Unity's big word, metaphysics, simply meaning, how do spiritual principles, scriptural spiritual stories, how do you experience them in your life? And Butterworth added that term, practical. Practical truths, practical metaphysics. I'm going to read an extensive quote for him for its power. He wrote this at the time that he built a huge ministry in New York City. He wrote this at a time, according to Oprah Winfrey and her personal history, that she discovered his book, Discover the Power Within You, and she said it changed her life. It gave her a vision and a hope that led her forward to be quite an exceptional individuality and leading woman in this country. Eric wrote, God has already done for all of us what God can do. Whoa! Eric liked statements that made you sit up and take notice. God has already done for all of us what God can do when He included us in His image and likeness, when He created us from a master plan, the perfect idea of being, Charles Fillmore liked to call it. The potential is there, all built in, according to our divine individuality, our highest truth. Ours is the privilege of understanding it, releasing it, or we can even say giving birth to it. In the same way, We can permit the creativity of the universe to flow into a mold of twisted and distorted thought. By the same law that we would manifest perfection in accordance with a perfect mental mold, it can manifest distortion in accordance with our distorted mental state. Now, this is an important realization. There's only one basic intelligence which we distort and pervert according to where we are in consciousness. We're creatures of habit who tend to habitually blow air into certain balloons simply because that's what we've always done. Isn't that a great image? Thanks, Mark, for bringing in balloons down in the rotunda for our party tonight, because it gives us the perfect visual image. Eric said we habitually blow our energy, our thought, our consciousness into the same old balloons over and over. We think of ourselves in certain habit patterns of sickness, poverty, war, and all the various things besetting human consciousness. These are the habit patterns of human mind. Quite often we think of it in terms of bad luck, and it's important to understand that what we call bad luck is simply a bad mental habit. A bad mental habit. People often say, well, things like that always happen to me. What are you going to do? Well, you can always do something. It's what we call in unity your responsibility. You are response-able. You choose the response to the situation you face. Am I going to let it get me down? Is it going to be a challenge that I'm going to learn new skills to go around, over, underneath? You might not be able to change the conditions out there in your workplace, your community, your city, but you can change what you do about them, how you react to them, and what you think about them. You can always be creative. You can always be positive, regardless of conditions. In other words, tune yourself into an entirely different dimension. It reminds me of that often quoted phrase from the genius Albert Einstein. That we don't solve a problem in the same state of consciousness that created it. We have to, as Butterworth said, project ourselves into a higher awareness of truth, our truth, the way the world works, the good that the Creator wants to manifest in our life. If we'll get our bad habits out of the way, our negative attitudes out of the way, and today, past experiences that we hold on to so tight, if we're willing to let that go. Someone came to me recently, and I didn't know exactly how to answer in a clear way, because they brought up a situation and experience in this church. And I was a little dumbfounded. That was before my time. That was 20 years ago. And I thought to myself, to not be preachy, you're still holding on to something that happened 20 years ago? Now, I'm not saying that whatever that situation was, yes, it might have been really inappropriate behavior, unkind, manipulative. I'm not condoning it. But being responsible, this individual needs to make a choice. I'm going to continue telling that story for another 20 years. Well, okay, you're free to make that choice, but there will be consequences. Not consequences Reverend is going to make happen. Consequences in your own life because what you are choosing to rehearse over and over and over again. Let it go. Be free. Set yourself free. Whether it's in this church, your family life, your working life, your whole past several decades, it is your choice. I am free, I am unlimited. Or, I'm unfree and very limited. There are many chains that bind me of these old experiences. So this is why, at least once a year, at the beginning of a new year, the threshold of a new year, we take an opportunity to do this burning bowl ceremony. Unity didn't invent it. It's been celebrated in various ways through many cultures around the world. I was delighted years ago when I had the freedom at this time of year to go down to the city of St. Louis, our sister city down the Mississippi. And in their arts district, with their huge, fabulous Fox Theater, right across the street is this monumental Baptist church where my parents happened to be married. A great cultural center. And out in the square, the city erects a giant steel burning bowl with fire. And it is there on New Year's Eve for any citizen or visitor to the city to write something down and cast it into the fire. Of course, there's no one there giving a lesson like me. People just have a natural feeling that the fire is a purifying, cleansing process, and you can let something go. Down in the rotunda on the wall, I recently installed a framed quotation from the mother of unity, Myrtle Fillmore. And I like it, how practical she is. Many people thought of her as a Victorian woman, quite educated for a woman of her day, and that she was probably wrote very flowery things and very proper. No, Myrtle told Unity students exactly what she thought. Here she writes, "Get busy using the truth you know." Truth. Those principles of life that you're quite convinced of. Love of family. The power that's worked by forgiveness when you forgive yourself or another. The creative power of your mind. Thoughts that you hold will produce in your life. Get busy using the truth you know. Love those around you in a practical way. Pay no attention to what others are doing insofar as to make comparisons. That's a sentence that's amazed me for many years because I sit and I contemplate. Love those around you in a practical way. What do you suppose Myrtle meant by that? Love you in a practical way. She meant don't just shower affection on family and friends. Love them in a practical way. The way you treat them and think about them should build them up. You should see the good in them. Praise it. Call it forth. Myrtle said, not this. Oh, sweetie. Oh, you're such a little sweetie. I'm so glad you're in my life. That's cute. But love them in a practical way. Call the good out of them. If it's a close friend and there's an element of trust, then call them on it when they're acting a way that you know is not their truth. You know better than that, Carol. I'm your friend and I'm going to call you on it. I may not call a stranger over at Target on something because there isn't the element of the trust of friendship. But love in a practical way. And pay no attention to what others are doing insofar as to make comparisons. Do you hear that phrase? Don't make comparisons about what other people are doing as being less than, because you're getting right into the practice of judging others. Bring forth your own joyous world of love, friendship, beauty, and plenty. God is giving everything required to build such a world. There is within you the God-given intelligence to build such a world. And my favorite part, get at it. Myrtle said, get at it. Do something in your life, your community, your world. I heard somebody on the Weather Channel early this morning doing their own personal New Year's resolution. And they were calling on that famous quote of Gandhi's, be the change you want to see in the world. Myrtle said, use the truth you know, get at it. You want more peace in your community? Then demonstrate peace. Charles Fillmore said, you want more prosperity, blessings in your life? Then do the things that make a prosperous life. Now, he didn't just mean go out and earn a lot of money. That's not what he was talking about. A prosperous life comes from a generous soul. So let's be practical now, too, as Butterworth and Myrtle Fillmore explained, and take our thoughts and feelings in hand. Get honest with ourselves and prepare to experience this burning bowl ceremony. It's an outer image of what happens in our soul as we are willing to release what no longer, so that we may move unencumbered and freely into our future, the new year of 2024. Consider the possibilities before you. If you're willing to let go of things in the past that are eating up your energy, your focus, your peace of mind and heart, it's time to enter a new year, a new life. And when you just think about that, isn't it amazing how God has created you so that you have this ability to let go? Charles used a fancy old word, renunciation. I renounce this. I let it go. It's no longer serving me. It's not expressing the truth of who I am. I renounce it. I release it. I eliminate it. I forgive it. You have that possibility. You're like a creative artist. You're making your life each and every day. So choose consciously what you want it to be. So I ask our ushers to come forward. They're going to pass a tray. Take a pencil, unless you have a favorite writing instrument already. Take a pencil and a small slip of paper. And we're going to spend a few moments of contemplation. Yes, I have to do this too, Lindy. Thank you for reminding me. And as these continue to come around, you can go ahead and start to focus your attention. Jesus spoke these Christ words, these true words, in his Sermon on the Mount, when great crowds listened. You've heard them many times, but I want to call them to your attention as we prepare for this. Jesus said, "Ask, and it will be given to you. Search, and you will find. Knock, and the door will be opened to you." He claimed this as a spiritual promise or guarantee of the Great Spirit. If you truly ask for something, a way to it is going to appear in your life. It may not appear exactly as you thought it would, but be vigilant. Watch for the opportunity. Seek, look, search, and you will find. Another guarantee. Knock. If there seems to be a block, an obstacle in your life, knock, literally or figuratively in your mind, and a door will be open. We can simply say, ask the Spirit of truth always and ever with you. Help me see. Help me find. Help me go through the door to the new. So I'm going to suggest several questions. You don't need to try to answer or write down all of them. I just speak them so it might trigger something in your mind and heart. Oh, I do need to rethink that. I do need to let that go. I need to try another way. Ask yourself, what is heavy on my heart? Is there some area in my life, in my relationships, where forgiveness is really needed? What is not clear in my mind? Is there a restart or a do-over necessary so that I can move forward? Spirit, do I trust your power to sustain me as I enter a question, an emptiness, a void in my life that may make me uneasy? Can I trust you? Will you be with me? Do I believe in those truths that Myrtle Fillmore spoke of? Do I believe if I use truth, there will be a result? Do I believe that my life, my circumstances, my situation can be transformed, remade? Can I catch a greater vision of who I am? And as we enter a few moments of silence for your reflection, use this simple formula. Spirit of truth, show me the way to my greater life. And be still and silent and see what comes up for you. And now hear that great voice within you. It may not be in this very moment, but if you keep listening, the voice of Christ will arise in your soul. That spirit that speaks, "Behold, I make all things new, and my words are accurate and true. I am the Spirit of life, the Spirit of renewal, the Spirit of transformation." Follow me. Listen. Use the truth I am in you. And gently bring your focus a little closer to the sanctuary on which you're seated, and write on that slip of paper. And here's something that might be counterintuitive to you. The shorter, the fewer words you use, the more powerful. I had a friend in Kansas City. I used to help her to the stage, to the burning bowl. And I said, don't bring a whole diary. Don't bring an entire Big Chief tablet filled out, like a daily word. And there is a certain etiquette about the burning bowl. You can write down a feeling, a thought that you've been habitually rehearsing, something you're ready to let go, but do not write down a person's name. We do not cast the name of someone into the burning bowl. Only what you feel and think about a situation. But I'm not going to write down Carlotta on my slip and throw it in the burning bowl. That's not right. And it's not true, because what you're releasing in the fire is your emotional and thought process around a situation. And Carlotta's been good enough to let me make an example. But what I would put in here is anything I'm holding on to about our relationship. I don't put you in there. Remember that, folks. I've seen people write down the name of their ex and cast it. That's not good etiquette, and it's also not the truth, because that you're not releasing that person, you're releasing your resentments around that person. So, as I prepare the fire bowl this morning, Rich is going to share some music with us. Some of it you'll recognize the melodies, and you're free to hum along and sing, such as Our Thoughts, Our Prayers. As you come forward, please notice this is a communal experience. And as we're all, each and every one, willing to let go, it builds up a power that helps everyone else release. It's not the same. Don't try this at home. It's not the same doing it by yourself at home. There is a power of transformation because you're all coming together in trust of one another, supporting one another to go through this process of release. Charles Fillmore, speaking in terms of this transforming fire of the Holy Spirit, he called it. He said, "You can be confident by your willingness to let go. The cleansing, purifying, healing activity within you will be not in part, but whole and complete." I kind of like it, many of you noticed, you come up and maybe your slip of paper is just sort of at the edge of the fire and it's just getting singed. Trust, I assure you, it will be consumed and that energy now set free for you to use in a new way. Whatever you had been holding on to in a certain aspect, you've released it. The Spirit of truth is your guide and your aid. And now that energy can be redirected to a new year, a new possibility. Great is the good that you have set in motion this very moment. So, thanks God that it is so, and I invite Bill to come forward and share his gift of music. And I invite you to consider your offerings and your gifts today during this time of peaceful music. Consider that gift is what we call in unity a love offering. It's something you're releasing and giving to the world in love so that a common good can be built up in this church, in your community, your state, nation, and world.
We all want it, do anything to have it, but whenever we get it, we hang on too tight. Don't want to lose it, still we confuse it, thinking only when we keep it do we ever get it right, but we get it wrong for so long. We try to hold it, try to control it. We stake our claim, but love can't be contained, so we need more than our heart can hold. To give it all away in a never-ending flow, to truly have it, we truly have to let it go. We need more than our heart can hold. More than our heart can hold. And we all have it, yet rarely know it. Believe it comes from somewhere else, so we go searching, hoping to find it. And all the while it's calling to us right inside ourselves, and we listen for its song. We try our best to sing along. Oh, what can we do to unlock this simple truth, that we need more than our heart can hold. To give it all away in a never-ending flow, to truly have it, we truly have to let it go. We need more than our heart can hold. More than our heart can hold. And as our story unfolds, it's not the one that we've been told. For love to come and fill our heart, have to give it all away right from the start. And we need more than our heart can hold. If we give it constantly, and this love will overflow. If we would have it here inside, we have to learn to let it go. We need more than our heart can hold. More than our heart can hold. We need more than our heart can Thank you very much.
Together, God gives abundantly. I receive thankfully and give again generously. This is the bounty of God, and we send it forth with wisdom and joy. Thanks be to God. And I invite you to stand as we sing our closing song. This too, watch the bouncing ball on the screen, because it's a little different than we've done it before. We usually only sing the chorus. So lead us on, Rich and Carlotta. Some days I do.
Some days I don't. Some days I will. Some days I won't. Some days I sing. Some days I float. Some days I get real smart and leave upon this quote. Go and let God, let go, let God, let go, let God be in charge and let my worries go. Let go and let God, let go and let God, let go and let God be in charge and let my worries go. Some days are cold, some days are hot. Just through some days takes all you got. I yearn for truth, to learn God's way. Each day when I wake up, I smile and I say, let go and let God, let go and let God, let go and let God be in charge and let my worries go. Let go and let God, let go and let God, go and let God be in charge and let my worries go.
Carlotta's brought a lot of goodies down there to tempt you even before we get to our party. So let us speak our prayer for protection together. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Happy New Year!